Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, the wind howling around you, the ground beneath your feet crumbling. Below lies the unknown, a vast, uncharted abyss. You feel the weight of despair pressing on your chest, the voice in your head whispering, "Give up. It's not worth it." But before you take that step back, before you let go of what you've been holding on to, I want you to pause. Breathe. And consider this. What if the very thing you're about to abandon is the key to your greatest strength, your deepest growth, your ultimate triumph? What if in giving up you're not freeing yourself but losing the battle against the one thing that could define your legacy, your resilience? This is not just a speech about perseverance. This is a call to arms, a reminder that the moments when we are closest to surrender are the moments that test the very fabric of our character. Today we delve into the philosophy of endurance, the art of holding on when everything in you screams to let go. We explore the idea that before you give up on her, on him, on yourself, on your dreams, you must first understand the power of perspective, the strength of stillness, and the unyielding force of the human spirit. Let us begin with the concept of perspective. When faced with adversity, our instinct is to react, to fight, to flee, or to freeze. But what if instead of reacting we paused? What if we took a step back and asked ourselves, is this truly the end? Or is it merely a bend in the road? The Stoics believed that our perception of events shapes our reality. They taught us that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we interpret and respond to those events. In other words, the power lies not in the situation itself, but in the meaning we assign to it. Consider this. A ship caught in a storm does not blame the wind or the waves. It adjusts its sails. Similarly, when life throws its tempests at us, we must learn to adjust our perspective. Before you give up on her, ask yourself, is this truly insurmountable, or am I simply overwhelmed by the storm? Often, what we perceive as an ending is merely a transition, a painful, messy, and uncertain transition, but a transition nonetheless. And transitions, by their very nature, are temporary. Now, let us talk about stillness. In a world that glorifies constant motion, the idea of stillness may seem counterintuitive. But there is immense power in pausing, in taking a moment to breathe and reflect. When we are on the verge of giving up, our minds are often clouded with fear, anger, and doubt. These emotions, while valid, can distort our judgment and lead us to make decisions we may later regret. Stillness allows us to clear the fog, to see the situation for what it truly is, and to respond with clarity and intention. Think of a lake on a windy day. The surface is turbulent, the waters choppy and unclear. But beneath the surface there is calm. The deeper you go, the more still it becomes. The same is true for us. When we are caught in the storms of life, we must learn to dive beneath the surface to find that inner stillness that exists within each of us. It is in this stillness that we discover our true strength, our ability to endure, and our capacity to rise above the chaos. And finally, let us explore the unyielding force of the human spirit. History is replete with stories of individuals who faced seemingly insurmountable odds and emerged victorious. From the ancient philosophers who endured exile and persecution to the modern-day heroes who have overcome unimaginable hardships, the common thread is resilience. Resilience is not the absence of pain or struggle, it is the ability to keep going despite them. It is the refusal to let circumstances define us, the determination to write our own story, no matter how difficult the pen may be to hold. Before you give up on her, remember this: the human spirit is indomitable. It is capable of withstanding the harshest of conditions, of finding light in the darkest of places, of rising from the ashes like a phoenix. But this strength is not innate, it is cultivated. It is forged in the fires of adversity, tempered by the trials we face, and honed by the choices we make. Every time you choose to keep going, you are strengthening that spirit, building a reservoir of resilience that will carry you through future challenges. So before you give up, take a moment to reflect. Reflect on the battles you've already fought, the obstacles you've already overcome. Remember the times when you thought you couldn't go on, but you did. You are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and more resilient than you give yourself credit for. The journey may be arduous, the path may be unclear, but the destination is worth it. And even if you don't reach that destination, the act of striving, of persevering, of refusing to give up, that in itself is a victory. But let us not stop here. Let us delve deeper into the essence of what it means to hold on, to endure, to persist. Let us explore the layers of human experience that make perseverance not just a choice but a necessity. For in understanding the depth of our struggles, we can better appreciate the heights of our triumphs. Consider the story of a seed buried deep within the earth. It is surrounded by darkness, by pressure, by the weight of the soil above it. To the casual observer, it may seem as though the seed is doomed, destined to remain trapped in its subterranean prison. But the seed knows better. It knows that within its core lies the potential for growth, for transformation, for life. And so it pushes against the soil, against the darkness, against the odds. It pushes not because it is easy, but because it is necessary, and in time it breaks through the surface, reaching for the sun, becoming a testament to the power of perseverance. We are like that seed. We are often buried under the weight of our circumstances, surrounded by darkness and doubt. But within each of us lies the potential for growth, for transformation, for life. And like the seed, we must push. We must push against the obstacles, against the fear, against the despair. We must push not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. And in time we too will break through the surface, reaching for the light, becoming a testament to the power of perseverance. But perseverance is not a solitary act. It is not something we do alone. It is a collective effort, a symphony of support, encouragement, and love. When we are on the verge of giving up, it is often the words of a friend, the touch of a loved one, the kindness of a stranger that pulls us back from the edge. It is the reminder that we are not alone, that we are part of something greater, that we are loved and valued and needed. Before you give up on her, remember this: you are not alone. There are people who care about you, who believe in you, who are rooting for you. Reach out to them. Lean on them. Let them be your strength when you feel weak, your light when you are surrounded by darkness. And in turn, be that strength, that light for others. For in lifting each other up, we create a world where perseverance is not just a choice, but a way of life. And let us not forget the role of failure in the journey of perseverance. Failure is often seen as the enemy, as something to be avoided at all costs. But failure is not the enemy, it is the teacher. It is through failure that we learn, that we grow, that we become stronger. Each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. And so when you fail, do not despair. Do not give up. Instead, embrace the failure, learn from it, use it as fuel to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep striving. Before you give up on her, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger, wiser, more resilient? For in every failure lies the seed of success, and in every setback lies the opportunity for a comeback. And finally, let us talk about hope. Hope is the light that guides us through the darkness, the spark that ignites the fire within us. It is the belief that no matter how difficult the journey, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles, there is always a way forward. Hope is not blind optimism, it is a conscious choice to believe in the possibility of a better tomorrow. It is the refusal to let despair have the final say, the determination to keep going no matter what. Before you give up on her, hold on to hope. Hold on to the belief that things can and will get better. Hold on to the knowledge that you are capable of overcoming whatever challenges come your way. Hold on to the vision of a brighter future, a future where you have emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. For hope is the fuel that keeps us going, the light that guides us through the darkest of times.